At 60, I thought I was doing everything right, but 7 simple habits were slowly working against me. I followed the routines most people trust: eating late, starting my day heavy, staying comfortable instead of active. Nothing felt extreme, nothing felt dangerous. But over time I noticed the change: less energy, slower mornings, restless nights. And I started to wonder, was it really just age or something I was repeating every single day? If you're over 60 or getting close, take a moment and ask yourself the same question. Which daily habit might be holding you back without you even realizing it? Let me know in the comments. Because sometimes awareness is where everything begins. For years, I didn't think twice about eating late. Dinner at 7, maybe a snack at 9, something sweet before bed. It felt normal. But what I didn't realize was that my body never truly got a break. While I was trying to rest, my system was still working, digesting, processing, staying active when it should have been repairing. And that has consequences. When you eat late into the evening, your body stays in processing mode instead of shifting into recovery. Sleep becomes lighter, mornings feel heavier, and energy never fully resets. I used to wake up tired and assumed it was just part of getting older. It wasn't. So I made one simple change. I stopped eating earlier in the evening. Nothing extreme, just consistent. Within weeks, I noticed I was sleeping deeper, waking up clearer, and feeling lighter throughout the day. Sometimes it's not about doing more. It's about giving your body the time it needs to recover. This one sounds almost too simple to matter, but it changed how I feel after every single meal. For most of my life, I ate the way most people do. Bread first, then the main dish, maybe some vegetables on the side. It felt normal, but it wasn't working for me. After meals, I'd feel heavy, sometimes sleepy. My energy would rise quickly, then crash just as fast. I thought that was just how eating felt as you got older, but I was wrong. It wasn't just what I was eating, it was the order. So I made a small shift. I started every meal with greens. A simple salad, spinach, lettuce, maybe a little olive oil. Nothing complicated. And something surprising happened. I didn't feel that sudden heaviness anymore. My energy stayed steady. I could think more clearly, even in the afternoon. When you start with fiber-rich foods, your body processes the rest of the meal more slowly. It's a gentler, more balanced response, and over time, that stability adds up. It's not about strict rules, it's about small choices that support your body instead of overwhelming it. Be honest with me, how do you usually start your meals? Do you go straight for the carbs, or do you begin with greens? Comment greens or carbs. I'd really like to know. For a long time, I believed a good breakfast had to be heavy. Eggs, toast, maybe something fried. It felt satisfying in the moment. But by mid-morning, I noticed a pattern. My body felt slow, my mind a little foggy, and I was already looking for something to boost my energy again. It wasn't obvious at first, but over time, I realized I was starting my day by overloading my system. So I tried something different. I began my mornings with something lighter, just fruit, an apple, a bowl of berries, sometimes orange slices, nothing complicated, nothing excessive, and the difference was immediate. Instead of feeling weighed down, I felt refreshed. My energy came on gradually and stayed steady. My mind felt clearer, and I didn't have that mid-morning slump anymore. What I learned is this: how you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. After a full night of rest, your body doesn't need to be overwhelmed. It needs to be supported. Something light, hydrating, and easy to process can make a real difference in how you feel. This isn't about strict rules or cutting out everything you enjoy. It's about paying attention to how your body responds and giving it a gentler start when it needs it most. This was something I didn't pay attention to for most of my life, and I paid the price for it later. In my late 70s, I started noticing small but persistent changes: bloating after meals, unpredictable digestion, low energy that didn't seem to have a clear cause. Even my mood felt off, not terrible, just not steady. At first, I brushed it off. I thought, this is just part of getting older. But the more I ignored it, the more obvious it became that something deeper was out of balance. That's when I started learning about the gut, how much it actually influences how we feel day to day. Not just digestion, but energy levels, mental clarity, even emotional stability. It made me realize that what's happening inside often shows up in ways we don't immediately connect. So I made a simple adjustment. I focused on supporting my gut more intentionally, adding fermented foods when I could, being more consistent with what I ate, and paying attention to how my body responded instead of ignoring it. And slowly, things began to shift. The discomfort eased. My digestion became more predictable. I felt more balanced, both physically and mentally. What surprised me most wasn't just the physical change. It was how much clearer and more stable I felt overall. Sometimes the biggest improvements don't come from doing something dramatic, but from finally listening to what your body has been trying to tell you all along. There was a time when I thought slowing down meant I had earned the right to rest more. And in some ways, that's true. We all need rest. But what I didn't understand back then is that too much stillness comes with a cost. I saw it happen to people around me, friends who retired and gradually stopped moving as much. At first it looked like comfort, then it became stiffness, then weakness, and before long, simple things, standing up, walking across a room, became difficult. That stayed with me, so I made a quiet decision. No matter what, I would keep moving. Nothing extreme, no complicated routines, just walking every single day. Some days it's short, some days a little longer, but I don't skip. And over time, I noticed something powerful. My body stayed more responsive. My balance felt steadier. Even my mood improved after a simple walk. It became less about exercise and more about staying connected to my own strength. Movement doesn't have to be intense to matter. It just has to be consistent. Because when you stop moving, your body listens. And when you keep moving, it responds. You don't have to do a lot, but you do have to do something every day. For a long time, I treated sleep like it was optional. I stayed up late, watched one more show, told myself I'd catch up tomorrow. But tomorrow never really fixed it. I woke up tired, a little off, and over time, that feeling became my normal. What I didn't realize then is that rest isn't just about feeling better. It's part of how your body resets. When I started going to bed at the same time, keeping my evenings quieter, and giving myself a real chance to rest, everything began to feel more balanced. My mornings improved, my thinking felt clearer, even my patience came back. But here's what matters most. None of this works without consistency, not once in a while, not when you feel motivated, but every day in small ways. I didn't reach the age by chasing big changes. I got here by respecting small ones. If even one of these habits spoke to you today, comment starting today. I'd love to know who's ready to take that first step.